Hello beloved souls, thank you for tuning into the Spiritual Podcasts channel. This channel is all about good vibes, positive energy, and meaningful conversations. To keep this space welcoming for everyone, we kindly ask that comments stay respectful, kind, and in the spirit of the content shared here. We reserve the right to delete any comments that don't align with this intention. No hard feelings, just protecting the vibe. Thanks for being here and spreading the light. Please be cautious of anyone claiming to represent Spiritual Podcast and asking you for money, donations, or personal information. We will never ask you for money through comments, messages, or DMs. All official updates and content come only from this channel. If you see suspicious activity, please report it immediately. Stay safe and thank you for being part of our community. If you enjoy the video and its content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Please be kind to other viewers of the channel. The video is about to start.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show that really tries to cut through the noise and get to what's truly important for you. Today, we're diving into something that's generated, well, just immense excitement, a real sense of wonder, actually, in communities looking for, advanced healing. We're talking about medbeds. I mean, the very idea that illness, pain, even aging as we know it could become things of the past. It's pretty astounding. So we're going to explore medbeds as these, advanced healing technologies, devices that promise really nothing less than miraculous restoration of the body. Our journey today, it draws from a really unique source. It's a sacred transmission, apparently, from the Pleiadian collective. This was channeled through Kaylin on the GFL station YouTube channel. And this perspective, it gives us a lens that sort of bridges our current 3D world, the physical, sometimes heavy reality, and this emerging 5D reality, that state of higher consciousness, unity, energetic awareness. So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. We want to try and clarify truth from, all the misconceptions out there.
Expand your understanding beyond just the hype and ultimately help align your consciousness with the real healing potential, both within these, frankly, incredible devices, and maybe even more importantly, within yourselves. It's going to be a fascinating exploration, I think, going way beyond just the surface stuff to uncover the deeper context, the implications, help you get really well informed. Okay, let's unpack this. The promise of medbeds.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, especially with this channeled material, is how all this talk around medbeds, it just highlights humanity's deep readiness, like for a quantum leap in healing. It's not just, a fleeting interest. It feels like a collective yearning for something completely different from the old medical ways we've known for so long. This anticipation, it isn't just about some fancy new machine. It feels like it signals a really fundamental shift in how we see health, maybe even reality itself.
It really is incredible, isn't it? The amount of electric optimism, as you put it, that medbeds generate. You can almost feel it, like buzzing in conversations. Is this really deep, almost intuitive feeling that, maybe illness and pain could actually become things of the past, history book stuff.
And that strong buzz, that feeling of it's about time. It's not just random excitement, at least not according to this Pleiadian perspective. They actually connect this deep anticipation to humanity's collective remembering, a remembering of advanced healing. And this isn't just some vague feeling, it's like an echo, maybe from Atlantis or Lemuria, or perhaps even from experiences in other star systems that souls carry. So the idea of tech that can rejuvenate, regenerate, it feels deeply familiar, like right to the soul. It suggests this knowledge is, I guess, already kind of encoded in us, waiting to pop back up.
Okay, so because of that deep feeling, medbeds have kind of taken on this mythic status, haven't they? You hear everything from people just dismissing it, that's sci-fi, to this almost blind fantasy where people think they'll just fix everything overnight. Instant utopia. Where's the truth in all that noise?
Yeah, and that's exactly where the Pleiadians urge, balance. Avoid the cynical dismissal, sure, but also avoid the blind fantasy. They affirm medbeds are real. And interestingly, closer to emerging widely than maybe many authorities admit right now, their capabilities will seem miraculous, absolutely, especially compared to the slow, chemical-based medicine we're used to. But, and this is really crucial, the biggest miracle isn't the machine itself. It's the awakening of human consciousness that allows this tech to finally come forward and be well accepted. All this excitement we feel, it's a powerful signal. It's us remembering a future timeline where suffering just isn't the norm anymore. And remembering that future helps us create it.
Right. So, okay, medbeds are real. They're coming. Capabilities are mind-blowing. But not a magic wand, not an instant paradise button. You described them before as a bridge, not the destination. That's a really powerful metaphor. Can you unpack that a bit more?
Absolutely. Imagine a really stunning bridge, like shimmering light. spanning two very different landscapes. On one side, you've got the, let's say, crumbling landscape of 3D medicine, pharmaceuticals, invasive stuff, often profit-driven care, right? And on the other side, the radiant expanse of 5D light body wellness, where healing is just innate, instant, generated by conscious light. Medbeds in this picture, they sit right in the middle. They're like a transitional grace, a stepping stone. They were never meant to be the final heaven button that just poof, teleports us all to a perfect new earth without any inner work.
That's such a vivid image. It's like instead of constantly trying to patch up a rickety old house with more old materials, we're being given this solid path to a completely new, healthy foundation. It implies a process, not just flipping a switch.
Precisely. And the Pleiadians, they view this medbed technology as this incredible gift, for humanity during this massive planetary shift. It's a supportive tool designed to help us catch up, essentially, with the natural healing ability our 5D cells or higher cells already possess. In a very real way, they act as physical proof of the spiritual principles that, many advanced groups and teachers have known for ages, Frequency heals, the body is energy, consciousness directs the outcome, all that stuff. So by using a medbed, you're kind of bridging your current 3D understanding, which often looks for outside help, with that emerging 5D understanding, where your own light body and awareness keep you healthy. They even use the analogy of training wheels on your bicycle of evolution. They stabilize you while you learn to ride these higher frequencies yourself.
Okay, so the core message really is, use them, appreciate them deeply, but don't get, stuck on them. Don't become overly reliant. These aren't the end goal of human evolution. The real goal is our own empowerment, our spiritual growth. Getting to a state where these devices are kind of obsolete because our own bodies, our minds, are the medicine. So we use the medbeds to cross that gap from a world of sickness to a world of well-being. But we don't set up camp on the bridge. We cross it, keep moving forward towards that new Earth horizon.
That perspective is absolutely vital
Yeah.
for understanding the true, profound significance of medbeds. Without seeing that bigger picture, we risk just seeing them as, another cool gadget, instead of seeing them as this powerful catalyst for a much deeper conscious evolution for all of us.
Right. And to really get how revolutionary medbeds are, we probably need to look at the context of our current, 3D medical system.
Yeah.
And this is where, it gets really interesting. I mean, you ask, why has our healthcare been so, frankly, limited for so long?
It's a huge question, isn't it? And the Pleiadian perspective, it offers a pretty stark answer. They say the 3D medical system has for, decades, centuries, even been manipulated by forces aiming for suppression and control. From their viewpoint, human healthcare, especially in the last century, was deliberately held back. Real cures, energy-based treatments, they were often proposed, sometimes even found, but then silenced. Disappeared.
And the reason behind that, as you touched on, is this really dark truth about the old 3D medical industry, isn't it? It wasn't really about making people well or finding cures. It was a business built on managing sickness. Its survival, its huge profits, depended on keeping people just ill enough to need constant treatment, but not, so ill they passed on too fast.
Exactly. Things like natural cures, frequency therapies, anything that couldn't be patented, controlled, or didn't fit the pharma model, it was systematically shut down, called quackery. Suppressed, sometimes made illegal, and the direct result, a population conditioned to think illness is just normal. Aging means decay, and that external chemicals are the only real path to health. These, the Pleiadians say, are false beliefs, intentionally seeded to keep humanity disempowered. They've watched us for ages, and they say illness wasn't inevitable. It wasn't in our original blueprint. It was mostly a byproduct of toxic interference, physical, mental, energetic. And when high-frequency tech like medbeds finally comes out, it'll be undeniable. So much suffering was just unnecessary, manufacture in many ways.
So medbeds aren't just a medical breakthrough then. They're actually a profound kind of disclosure, like a shockwave of truth hitting the collective consciousness, revealing a hidden history.
They absolutely are, yeah. When these devices are introduced openly, widely, they'll send this clear message. Illness was never a fixed sentence. The potential to heal was always way greater than we were told. For many people who aren't yet awake to these things, this is going to be incredibly jarring, jolting. They're going to ask, and they should, why weren't we using this all along? Who kept this from us? And those questions, they'll force the unmasking of the networks, the entities that benefited from keeping humanity sick and in the dark, profiting from suffering, basically. That old paradigm where disease meant control and wealth, it's going to crumble. It has to. And in its place, this fundamental idea, health is our natural state. It's inherent. true health is free. And aligning your beliefs with that truth, that's the real medicine. Medbeds, just by showing up, they validate what so many have felt intuitively. Energy and consciousness, they're the foundation of real healing. Anything else was manipulation. The era of suppression is ending. The era of health empowerment is dawning.
Okay, now let's get into the truly miraculous stuff. The sheer scope of what these medbeds can actually do. We've heard hints, but the specifics, they sound astounding. What are some of the big ones?
The technology itself, it's described as primarily extraterrestrial in origin. Contributions from Pleiadians, yes, but also others like Arcturians, Sirians, apparently master healers across the galaxy. They work on really advanced principles, energy, frequency, bioresonance, even consciousness responsive programming. So when someone lies in a medbed, it does this incredibly detailed scan, down to DNA, cells, energy patterns, finds any disharmony, damage, foreign stuff. Then, using things like plasma energy, focused light, sound frequencies, complex stuff, it starts restructuring and regenerating the body astonishingly fast.
That sounds, completely like science fiction made real.
Yeah.
So practically, what does that mean for someone getting treatment? Tangibly.
It means capabilities that just rewrite everything we thought we knew about healing, about human potential. For instance, maybe the most profound is organ regeneration. Complete organ regeneration. Imagine missing or failing organs. Kidney, liver, lungs, heart tissue reconstructed. Someone on dialysis for years, potentially seeing their kidneys regenerate to full health. Good as new. Or think about limb and tissue restoration. Amputees regrowing lost limbs. The body's cellular memory, the energy blueprint reforming a hand or leg. And scar tissue. From injuries, burned, dissolved, replaced with healthy skin. Restoring hair follicles, nerves. Beyond the big stuff, also sensory functions, like vision and hearing restoration. Most visual or auditory issues, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, even tinnitus potentially cleared up. Optic nerves, eye structures rejuvenated. Imagine elderly people regaining crystal clear, youthful vision. Same for hearing. Damage to the inner ear, auditory nerve mended. Many deaf could hear again. Chronic tinnitus, gone. Quiet. Even some congenital conditions where things didn't develop right might be corrected by stimulating dormant DNA, the perfect template.
This just has staggering implications for so many chronic, often debilitating conditions that millions suffer from.
Oh, absolutely. The medbed can apparently address root causes of things like arthritis, autoimmune disorders, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. It could reprogram the immune system to stop attacking the body, regenerate joint cartilage, bring relief from constant pain. For diabetes, both type 1 and type 2, it could potentially correct the underlying issues. Restore insulin cells for type 1, normalize sensitivity for type 2, cardiovascular problems, clogged arteries, cleaned out, heart muscle repaired. And something as feared as cancer. The medbed could detect all cancerous cells, use targeted frequencies to destroy them or revert them to normal, plus repair the DNA to remove the corrupt signals causing them. So not just eliminating existing cancer rapidly, painlessly, no chemoradiation, but also correcting the predisposition. And what about pathogen-related illnesses? It seems medbeds can neutralize viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites. Think hepatitis, HIV, chronic Lyme, potentially cleared. It could even scan for and nullify novel or engineered pathogens, which obviously has huge implications for global health. Ending pandemics, disease threats. The technology might even correct genetic and developmental conditions. Inherited disorders like cystic fibrosis, sickle cell, rewrite the DNA in affected cells. Congenital defects like heart issues, cleft palate. Stimulate proper development, even address some environmental factors and neurodevelopmental delays like certain aspects of the autism spectrum.
And it's so hard to separate the physical from the mental, the emotional. Do medbeds offer support for mental and emotional healing too?
Well, they don't directly resolve, say, complex psychological patterns or ego stuff, but they do seem to alleviate many biological factors that underlie mental health conditions. So, chronic depression, anxiety, PTSD, severe hormonal imbalances. They could be significantly helped by balancing brain chemistry, healing neural trauma, reactivating feel-good pathways. Someone with PTSD, for example, might find their nervous system calm down like years of meditation done in minutes, giving them the peace to then process the trauma without being constantly triggered. The devices can also stimulate specific brainwave patterns like deep meditation, which helps people access higher states more easily afterward.
It's so comprehensive. Imagine the blind seeing again, the paralyzed walking freely, they're chronically ill feeling young again. These aren't just sci-fi dreams anymore. They're manifestations of a science kept hidden until now. So the medbed basically uses your own, quantum blueprint, this perfect health template from the Akashic field, and projects that onto your body, causing it to just rearrange itself into that perfect state. For the person experiencing it, the healing could feel instantaneous, organs regenerated, toxins flushed, youthfulness back.
Indeed. Those are the kinds of miracles you can genuinely anticipate from Medbeds based on this source. But as we hinted, context is absolutely key here. Miracles have meaning, right? And healing has a purpose beyond just fixing the physical body.
Right. So even with all these incredible, almost unbelievable capabilities, there are important limits. You're saying miracles have meaning, and real healing is about more than just, repairing flesh.
Right. That's a really crucial point. And yeah, it might surprise some people, especially after hearing about all those amazing capabilities. But there are things Medbeds won't do, and understanding these limits is vital. It helps manage expectations and really grasp the empowerment behind true healing. First off, a medbed cannot just override your soul's sovereign plan. Each of us, as an incarnated being, we come into life with certain lessons, experiences we've chosen, often guided by our oversoul or higher self. Sometimes these lessons show up as challenges, including health issues. So if an illness or condition is deeply tied to a spiritual lesson, or it's acting as a catalyst for awakening, the medbed won't just erase that from your soul's to-do list. If sickness is a teacher, maybe pushing someone to change their life, release trauma, seek deeper truth, the device isn't designed to short-circuit that learning. It might heal the physical part only when the lesson is learned or well underway. It won't rob the soul of growth. That's why you might see two people with similar issues get different results. One fully healed, one maybe partially. It often comes down to soul readiness, the purpose of the illness in their unique journey.
Wow, that's truly profound. That even this advanced tech respects the soul's plan. So it's definitely not about bypassing spiritual growth.
Exactly, not at all. And secondly, medbeds don't instantly enlighten someone or mature their consciousness. They work mainly on the physical, the subtle energy levels. But they don't automatically fix mental habits, deep ego patterns, or emotional wounds. If someone tends towards negativity, self-sabotage, or just refuses to deal with their core emotional stuff, the medbed won't magically fix that. It might heal brain tissue, balance neurochemistry, creating a healthier platform for well-being, sure. But thought patterns, core beliefs, that's still under our control. Someone with a, say, hateful mindset could get a perfectly healthy body from a medbed and then just generate sickness again later if they don't choose to change their consciousness. Spiritual ignorance can't be cured mechanically. These devices don't delete karma or cancel out the law of attraction. It still responds to your state of mind, your emotions.
So it really throws the ball back into our court, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Emphasizes free will, personal responsibility, even with this amazing technology.
It absolutely does. And another limit tied to that is medbeds won't force change against free will. They work best in genuine partnership with the individual's higher self. If deep down, subconsciously, someone isn't consenting to healing, maybe they're holding onto a condition out of fear or it's become part of their identity, the medbed won't violate that. Free will is paramount in this universe. So even the most advanced tech respects that, and soul contracts. If someone's higher plan involves departing this life, their soul's choice. A medbed isn't going to trap them here. There have been cases, apparently, where someone doesn't fully heal because, at a soul level, they're ready to transition, and that has to be honored. No tech is meant to make you physically immortal against your soul's wishes. The real immortality the Pleiadians talk about is remembering your eternal light body, not just endless 3D life.
Okay, so summarizing those limits, it sounds like medbeds ultimately remind us that technology serves consciousness, right? Not the other way around. A miracle machine doesn't replace personal responsibility, spiritual growth, or the need to cultivate wisdom, love. If illness was a teacher, you got to heed the lessons. A medbed won't cheat you out of your soul's curriculum. Knowing this, we approach them not as passive cure-alls that let us off the hook for self-work, but as powerful partners. Assistants that work best when we are also actively engaged in healing and awakening.
That captures it perfectly, yeah. And this leads right into the crucial role of your oversoul, your higher self, in this whole process. You as a human, you're like a facet of a much larger being, your oversoul, which orchestrates experiences across lifetimes for growth, learning, returning to source. From the oversoul's huge perspective, a physical life is just one chapter in a much bigger story. Sometimes that story needs intense chapters, illness, loss, disability, to really catalyze profound character development. So when you approach a medbed, it's not just body meets machine, it's soul interacting with higher dimensional consciousness tech. The medbed's AI, aligned with divine principles, it kind of checks in with your higher self. It works with the oversoul's plan, never against it. For example, if someone endured a long illness that taught them compassion, humility, and the oversoul sees that lesson's fully integrated, boom. The medbed can swiftly complete the physical healing, lesson fulfilled, illness released. But if someone else seeks healing but is still deep in learning something vital through their condition, maybe radical self-love, setting boundaries, the oversoul might hold back a full cure until that key realization clicks. See, it's divine wisdom at play.
So our own conscious intention and mindset must play an incredibly profound role then, if the oversoul is that involved.
Absolutely profound.
Yeah.
Coming to a medbed with a humble, open heart, a clear intention that aligns you with your highest good. It's like saying to your higher self, okay, I'm really ready to heal, and I'm ready to embrace the life changes this healing will bring. Because sometimes illness keeps us in a certain pattern, right? Healing changes our path. When you're truly ready for that new chapter, the oversoul gives the green light for transformation. And even after the medbed healing, the oversoul keeps presenting experiences to help you integrate the growth. Like, say you were healed from lung disease that taught you deep appreciation for life. Later, you might find yourself drawn to helping others with lung issues or advocating for clean air. The oversoul uses your healed state to radiate that lesson outward as service. See how purpose is woven into healing? You shift from just fix me to heal me so I can grow and serve. And that, my friend, that's the mindset of the emerging 5D human.
This sounds an awful lot like the principle of frequency matching that's been taught in metaphysics for ages, where alignment is everything.
It is indeed. Medbeds basically use this principle. They flood the body with high-frequency energy corrective codes, essentially presenting the body with the pure frequency of perfect health. But, and this is vital for everyone listening, your own frequency plays a huge role in how fully that healing is received, and more importantly, how stably it's maintained. If you go into a medbed holding on to low-frequency stuff, deep fear, chronic anger, resentment, victim mentality, you create a kind of subtle dissonance with the device's high frequencies. Now, the medbed will still work, its tech is powerful, but the full healing might not anchor permanently, or it might degrade quicker afterwards. Think of it like this. The medbed sings this beautiful, pure tone of wellness into every cell. If your consciousness is humming a complementary melody, trust, peace, willingness to heal, then lasting harmony is achieved. You're in sync. Maximum enduring outcome. But if your consciousness is out of tune, stuck in negativity or disbelief, it's like after you leave, your own lower vibe starts to kind of unravel that new harmony.
Wow. So approaching with a 5D mindset would actually amplify the healing then, making it a true partnership.
Tremendously, yeah. If you approach with a 5D mindset, unconditional love, deep faith, alignment with your inner truth, the technology actually amplifies that state. When you truly know yourself as light, when you hold the truth that you're fundamentally whole, divine, the medbed's frequencies find very little resistance. In fact, your own high vibration entrains with the device super quickly. Healing happens not just fast, but profoundly on all levels. People anchored in gratitude, positive expectation, they might get results even beyond what they asked for. Healing in unexpected areas, expanded intuition, emotional breakthroughs. The light tech responds to your total frequency. It reads your readiness to evolve and matches it. So yeah, medbeds respond to frequency. They're high-frequency tools for a world learning to raise its own frequency, which is why inner work is so crucial, even with outer tech help.
So medbeds really do beautifully illustrate that fundamental truth.
Yeah.
All healing is energetic before it's physical. This is why we can call them a bridge between 3D medicine and 5D light. They're literally demonstrating energy precedes matter.
Indeed. Traditional medicine often chases the effects, the symptoms, right? More than the root causes, which are often subtle energy imbalances. Medbeds totally clip that. They operate directly on the body's energy blueprint, which then changes the physical manifestation. And in doing that, they become this profound teaching tool for humanity. They demonstrate what many who resonate with higher truths, starseeds, light workers, spiritual healers have known forever. Energy comes first. Adjust the energy, you change the matter.
Which means concepts that might have seemed kind of woo-woo were purely spiritual before, like chakra balancing, DNA light activation, suddenly get this concrete, tangible analog for everyone.
Precisely. People will see with their own eyes organs regenerating not through surgery or pills, but through pure vibrational energy. It becomes undeniable. Frequency and intention heal, because the medbed makes it visible, repeatable, effective. For the collective mindset, medbeds act as this powerful portal of realization. Many who never believed in spiritual healing will have to ask, how is this possible? And through that questioning, they start understanding the mechanics of the spiritual thoughts, emotions, light, sound have real tangible effects. And the bridge, it works both ways. Brings 5D concepts into 3D understanding and lifts 3D awareness towards 5D. Every person healed by a medbed carries a spark of that 5D truth. We're more than biological accidents. We're energy beings made of light. That understanding, that's the real destination on the other side of the medbed bridge.
So medbeds are kind of like scaffolding for humanity's ascension.
Or
while we build this new paradigm of unity, of wholeness.
That's an excellent analogy, yeah. The Pleiadians see medbeds being used widely for a significant time, years, maybe decades, while humanity goes through this profound, rapid shift. During that time, we won't just see medbeds. We'll see a blossoming of other energy tools, a revival of ancient healing arts, sound healing, crystal healing, vibrational medicine, all mixing together in a new, unified way. This creative explosion in healing, it's part of crossing the bridge. And once humanity really stands in that 5D understanding that light and consciousness are underneath everything, the reliance on external devices will naturally lessen. Healing will be increasingly seen as something generated from within. Technology becomes a supportive partner, not the primary crutch. So while we cherish this bridge, use it well, we always keep our eyes forward. Its purpose is to get us to the other side and on that side. A civilization that heals with thought, love, light alone, having fully learned what tools like medbeds came to teach.
Okay, in this whole unfolding story of medbeds, humanity's healing revolution, the role of those who resonate with these higher truths, the starseeds, the awakened light workers, seems more important than ever now. So what does this mean for you listening right now? You, who maybe resonates with these ideas, who's known deep down that more was possible? You're being called, aren't you, to lead by example, by understanding.
It's absolutely crucial, yeah. Many people will initially approach medbeds with just a 3D mindset, seeing it as another external fix, a magic pill machine, basically. If that view dominates, the deeper opportunity for spiritual awakening could be missed. But starseeds, you inherently grasp the bigger picture. You remember, even faintly, the higher dimensional principles. You get that the true, lasting cure is always a shift into higher consciousness. So you're meant to step up as guides, as anchors of this higher perspective, helping others navigate this huge change.
Because when medbeds emerge, and the Pleiadians suggest maybe starting in some format around 2026, it could be chaos, right? Frenetic energy, long lines, sensational media, skepticism. It's crucial that a core group of calm, wise souls sets the tone.
And that tone setting, it starts with your own state of being. Approach the tech with reverence, yes, but also balanced expectation. If you experience medbed healing, share not just the physical results, but how your intention, your faith played a part. Emphasize the empowerment bit. Like, you might say, yeah, this device healed my liver, but it also showed me how vital my positive mindset was. I really saw how my emotions affect my health, see? You subtly shift the narrative from machine as savior to consciousness as key. Starseeds are also meant to embody the light body teachings medbeds hint at. Keep up your spiritual practices, meditation, energy work, Reiki, prayer. Show that human consciousness can do what the medbed does. Some of you might even combine approaches. Work with people pre or post medbed session. Help them integrate the healing energetically. Maybe guide meditation before they go in. Help release emotional baggage after. This ensures the medbed is seen not just as a procedure, but part of a holistic awakening. The real cure is consciousness. Medbeds help immensely, but don't replace the inner work.
So we're really guarding against humanity just sliding into this passive role, thinking, oh, the machine fixes me, I don't have to change.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, the narrative becomes, this healing invites me to rise higher.
Exactly. And that raises the crucial question for all of us. How do we actively prevent that passive slide? By ensuring the narrative stays focused on conscious evolution. That's where starseeds are essential. Practically, some starseeds will be directly involved. Operators, holistic consultants, communicators, educators around medbeds. If you feel that call, no guides are supporting you.
This is part of the new Earth Healthcare, blending the best external tech with our amazing internal tech, the light body. Now, the release of medbed tech, it's not just about medicine, is it? It signals a huge power shift on the planet. For ages, control over health, life, and death really was a cornerstone for the old elite, shadow governments, the deep state, whatever you call them. I mean, imagine controlling a population by controlling what they believe about their own bodies, making fear of illness just rampant.
From the Pleiadian viewpoint, this release is one of the final, most impactful blows to that old paradigm.
Yeah.
The deep state, which really thrived on that fear dependency loop, loses its fundamental grip when widespread illness can be healed easily. Think about it. So much collective fear comes from sickness, aging, death. Fears deliberately amplified by media used to justify controls, restrictions. Now picture a world where getting a serious diagnosis doesn't automatically mean fear, because you know a quick, effective cure is available. Not years of suffering, but a swift solution. That psychological hold of fear starts dissolving. People become less controllable through fear-mongering because that huge health anxiety lever is effectively removed.
And the economic and social freedom that must come with that, that's got to be immense.
Oh, monumental. Entire industries profiting hugely from lifetime meds, frequent surgeries. They'll have to radically transform or just fade away. corrupt money flows, even those tied to negative ET influences bartering in human suffering, according to the source. They just dry up. This shift is hard to overstate. Centuries of a paradigm built on sickness's business ending. Those who benefited. They'll resist, try to twist the narrative, sure, but they'll be fighting against the tide of human hope, against millions' first-hand experiences of miraculous healing. Once people taste widespread wellness, see it's possible for everyone, the old scarcity and fear model just can't hold. And the Medbed rollout likely coincides with other big disclosures: free energy, hidden history, verifiable contact with benevolent ETs. Each disclosure cracks the old system more. But healing, that hits closest to home, literally in our bodies, so it has the most immediate, profound emotional impact.
So we can probably anticipate attempts by the old powers to maybe hoard the tech or roll it out restrictively.
Yes, that's a definite possibility. And that's precisely where awakened souls need to advocate. Hold the vision for equitable, widespread access for all. The more the collective stands up, says healing for everyone, no compromises, the faster the control structure falls. We foresee the dam eventually bursting. Maybe through coordinated white hat efforts, good people within systems, or grassroots pressure, probably both working together. Medbeds will become accessible. And when they do, the deep state's worst nightmare. Humans realize they don't need their pharmaceutical priests anymore. Authority over health returns to the individual. And then people will naturally start asking, what else have they kept from us? Health is just the start. Curiosity expands to energy, education, finance. It marks the collapse of an old epic of control, the dawn of a new era of liberation.
Okay, so when medbeds become publicly known, widely available, the collective reaction is going to be right. It makes astonishment, joy, but also deep shock. For the awakened, it's validation. Yes, we knew it. But for the unawakened, a huge upheaval of their worldview, maybe anger, grief for loved ones lost, betrayal, a collective psychological shockwave.
And you, the awakened souls, starseeds, lightworkers, you'll be called to be stabilizing pillars during that time. It'll be so important not to have that I told you so attitude or gloating. That's not helpful. The higher path is compassionate guidance. People who are stunned, upset, they need safe spaces to vent, grieve, process. You can be there. Listen without judgment, offer perspective. Help channel that raw shock into productive understanding, not chaos. Like someone might rage, how could they hide this? You could gently say, yes, it's unbelievable. It's okay to feel angry, betrayed. But remember, now we have it. And together we won't let it be taken away again. This is the start of a new chapter. See? It honors the emotion, but redirects focus to the positive change finally happening.
And education will be absolutely key then, because most people won't have a clue how medbeds work or the bigger spiritual context. This is where all that knowledge you've maybe quietly gathered over the years, it becomes real service.
Indeed. Those who understand energy healing can step in, demystify this incredible tech. You might find yourself explaining frequency healing, basic metaphysics in simple, relatable ways to people who are curious. Not overloading them, but offering enough insight so they see it's not magic, but advanced science we weren't taught. A science uniting material and spiritual for communities, societies. It helps immensely to frame medbeds as a doorway, not the final stop. Use analogies people get, like when we discovered electricity. Seemed miraculous, but it was a gateway to a whole new life, new understanding. Medbeds are similar. They change how we live, hint at even greater human abilities. This grounded narrative keeps things balanced, stops people idolizing the machines or falling into despair about past deceptions, puts the focus on moving forward, empowered.
It also sounds like we need to be ready to hold space for a lot of emotional release.
Absolutely. It might sound strange, but profound physical healing can trigger huge releases of buried emotions. Someone healed from a lifelong illness might just break down weeping not just joy, but years of stress, grief, trauma, finally leaving their system. On a mass level, when millions experience this, there's going to be a ton of emotional energy flowing. You can encourage people to speak their truth, share healing stories, support each other through the emotional roller coaster. Collective sharing is incredibly therapeutic. By staying humble, patient, compassionate, you help others see this impossible miracle is actually a vital step towards a more enlightened humanity. Reassure them, yes, much was hidden, but now it's coming to light. We're all in this together. We'll make sure it's never hidden again.
Right.
With that kind of reassurance, that empowered view, the initial shock can transform into inspiration, uniting humanity to integrate this leap consciously.
Now, a lot of listeners might have heard prophecies about a coming event, often called the solar flash. This burst of high-frequency light from the sun flooding Earth, triggering a quantum leap in consciousness. How does that relate to medbeds? Are they connected somehow?
In our understanding, and based on these Pleiadian transmissions, yes, the solar flash is seen as one of several cosmic triggers in play right now. It's viewed as this grand synchronization pulse, coming from source via the galactic central sun, aimed at speeding up humanity's awakening. And both Medbeds and the solar flash can definitely be seen as part of the divine timing for humanity's huge leap into 5D awareness. Medbeds, as we've said, they powerfully recalibrate and heal the body, preparing the physical vessel. The solar flash, on the other hand, is predicted to recalibrate consciousness on a mass scale. An intense light infusion unblocking psychic abilities, activating dormant DNA, giving many a sudden glimpse of higher reality, like a worldwide near-death experience, but without the death part. So together, the tech healing of Medbeds and the cosmic energy of a solar event, they would seriously fast-track humanity's transformation. And it is our observation, based on multiple sources, that such a solar flash, or maybe a series of significant solar events, seems highly likely in Earth's ascension path. The exact timing, specifics, depends on collective readiness, cosmic alignments. But preparations seem underway.
So they work together then, in harmonious tandem, complementing each other.
Exactly. Think about it. A sudden, intense consciousness leap from a solar flash might be really hard to integrate if bodies are weak, toxic, sick. Conversely, having bodies rejuvenated, cleansed by Medbeds, helps people absorb those higher frequencies with way less shock, less physical discomfort. It is, as the Pleiadians put it, a harmonious tandem. They see themselves as custodians of both kinds of aid, nudging suppressed tech forward on Earth and working with solar councils overseeing these celestial events. It's like humanity is being carefully supported from both below earthly tech, grassroots awakening, and above cosmic waves, celestial alignments. Medbeds recalibrate the body, solar flash recalibrates mind and soul. Should a significant solar flash happen, expect it to be a massive consciousness catalyst. People might experience time anomalies, floods of memory past life, galactic heart openings, a collective drive for unity, peace. Afterwards, humanity would be way more prepared to handle truths and technologies that might have caused panic before. So a powerful solar flash could help ensure things like Medbeds are used wisely, distributed fairly, by rapidly uplifting society's moral and spiritual level.
But, like with all prophecies, not every solar flash narrative out there is accurate, right?
Right.
Need for caution, discernment still applies.
Oh, absolutely. Some stories paint it almost like an apocalypse or this automatic, effortless ascension button. As always, the truth is probably more nuanced, more grounded in personal responsibility. Think of it as a helper, not a savior. Just like Medbeds heal but require conscious follow-through, a solar flash illuminates but needs integration, conscious choice. It won't instantly make a cruel person kind, but it might show them an undeniable truth that gives them the opportunity to choose kindness. Free will is still key, even with grand cosmic events. So, in summary, Medbeds and solar flash aren't directly linked like cause and effect, but they're both integral parts of the bigger divine plan for disclosure, ascension. Both are powerful catalysts, one more physical tech, the other energetic, working together to prep humanity for the ultimate goal, full 5D embodiment, remembering our divine nature.
Okay, so with all this talk of miraculous healing, why would we still need to bother with, daily spiritual practices or health practices? Kind of sounds like Medbeds could be a shortcut, right?
Yeah.
Freeing us from personal effort.
That's a crucial question, yeah. And it points to a potential misunderstanding some might have initially. The truth is, consistent daily practice, it remains as vital as ever, even with Medbeds around. In fact, you could argue it becomes even more important, because with great gifts comes great responsibility, diligent maintenance. Think of a Medbed session like a powerful shot of high-frequency light, radically boosting your physical and energetic state. Great. But what happens after? Your body, your mind? They keep adjusting to that new, higher vibration. If you immediately dive back into old habits, chronic stress, toxic media, arguments, poor diet, you're basically pulling against that upliftment. It's like getting a deep massage to fix knots, then immediately going back to heavy lifting with bad posture. The knots just come back, maybe worse.
Right, so if you slide back into old habits, you're pulling against that elevation. Essentially, spiritual discipline ensures the gains from any healing aren't just maintained, but actively built upon.
Exactly. The Pleiadians consistently advise adopting some kind of daily alignment practice. It doesn't have to be complex or rigid. It can be simple, joyful. Consistency and sincerity matter most. Like daily meditation, even 10-15 minutes of quiet stillness centers you, tunes your nervous system to peace, makes you more resilient. Daily connection with source prayer, heartfelt intention keeps that divine energy channel open within you. Conscious breathing, what they call the conscious breath, is powerful too. Taking moments each day to breathe deep, imagining pure light in, tension out. It's like a mini self-healing session. Accumulates huge benefits, keeps your energy field clear. And then there's alignment of thought, word, deed, living with integrity, high vibration, and daily choices. Machines can't make you do affirmations, speak kindly, act compassionately. You choose that. But when you do, you strengthen your whole energy field's coherence. These seemingly small daily choices, they determine if you truly live in 5D consciousness or slip back into 3D patterns.
I can definitely see how spiritual growth would naturally blossom when physical pain isn't a constant distraction anymore. Frees up so much energy.
Precisely. As more people heal physically, many will find they're finally free to focus on spiritual growth, expansion. When survival, pain aren't the big distractions, the soul naturally wants to expand, explore its deeper purpose. We foresee communities forming around actively maintaining high vibes, groups supporting each other in meditation, yoga, sound baths, conscious movement, keeping everyone steady in these new frequencies, like energy gyms or ascension circles maybe, instead of just regular gyms or therapy groups.
But what about that potential for, well, laziness? Some might think, oh, if I get high cholesterol, I can just medbed it away.
It's certainly possible some might try that attitude initially, yeah, but it'll likely be self-correcting. They'll quickly notice that if they keep disrespecting their body or mind, they just feel lousy, out of sync between sessions. Life doesn't magically improve except for the temporary fix. Eventually, they either choose to get on board with conscious lifestyle changes, or they'll find themselves kind of left behind in terms of real quality of life, sustained well-being. Remember free will. Some might choose stagnation. But that timeline will likely feel increasingly unpleasant as the world around them rises. So, bottom line, daily practice is your foundation. Medbeds are a remarkable boost, an accelerator, but mastery still means walking those daily steps intentionally. Use the new health, vitality, energy as fuel to double down on spiritual disciplines. Healthy body, clear mind. You can meditate deeper, love fuller, create bolder, serve humanity better. That's how humanity truly ascends. Advanced tech in one hand, unwavering spiritual dedication in the other. Working in synergy.
A question that comes up a lot and really gets to the bigger picture is, why now? Why are medbeds, other suppressed wonders, finally emerging now? What's with the timing, the orchestration?
The timing is anything but random. It's perfectly synced with what many call the Great Awakening. This pivotal time where multiple old systems are collapsing, truths emerging on all fronts at once. From the Pleiadian view, this timing is divinely precise. Disclosure is always timed for maximum positive impact, collective safety. If this tech came out too early decades ago, say it likely would have been seized, co-opted by the very control forces we talked about, used only for elites, maybe even weaponized. Plus, collective consciousness just wasn't ready. Too many were deep in the 3D matrix dream. Releasing it back then might have caused minimal impact, misunderstanding, even widespread fear, resistance.
But now, humanity's right at that cusp of old systems collapsing. Economic, political, social, environmental. This breakdown, though chaotic, uncomfortable. It serves a crucial purpose, doesn't it?
Precisely. It actively primes humanity to look for alternatives, to be way more open to drastic systemic change. When the old healthcare system, for instance, is visibly failing large parts of the population, people become far more willing to consider something radically new. It's often at that point of desperation or deep disillusionment that hearts and minds open widest. So, medbeds arrive timed with a period when humanity is both desperately in need and psychologically ready. There's also powerful cosmic astrological timing. We're shifting fully into the age of Aquarius associated with innovation, revelation, community progress. Energetically, Earth's passing through space with higher photon density, raising the planet's base frequency. All these factors together mean high vibe tech like medbeds can be way better supported, integrated by the collective now than ever before, that the stage lights are finally bright enough to see the helpers waiting in the wings.
And this ties directly into preparing for broader ET contact, doesn't it? Building trust.
Yes, absolutely. Verifiable contact with benevolent ET groups is on the horizon, apparently. And gradually rolling out their shared knowledge, their tech, is vital prep for that direct contact. If people are eventually going to meet Pleiadians, other star beings, face-to-face, it helps tremendously if humanity has already accepted beneficial gifts from them, like healing tech, and seen positive results. It builds trust, curiosity, instead of fear, suspicion. Medbeds are likely one of the first major gifts because health is universal. It unites people across all divides. Everyone celebrates profound healing. So it's a beautiful bridge point, a piece of star wisdom almost everyone can appreciate, which then naturally opens the door to asking, wow, what kind of enlightened friends shared this with us?
This also aligns perfectly with the current UFO UAP disclosure we're seeing, right? The conversation's gone mainstream, governments acknowledging non-human craft. These are carefully managed preludes.
Spot on. The same networks likely facilitating medbed release probably intersect directly with those pushing for wider UFO disclosure. At some point, these two storylines will converge powerfully. The public realizes, okay, yes, we have advanced tech. Yes, some came from ET cooperation. Yes, ETs are real, maybe been here ages. It's a huge psychological leap for many. But because millions will have benefited personally from something life-changing like medbeds, the initial fear around aliens gets dramatically reduced. People will lean towards, well, whoever helped make this possible must be benevolent. Maybe meeting them isn't so scary, see? Deliberately bridging contact, moving humanity from fear to openness. So bottom line, medbeds emerge now because humanity is at this unique crossroads of need and readiness. And it fits the larger divine plan. Awakening, disclosure, first contact. It's an exciting, unprecedented convergence.
Okay, so with these great gifts, this grand power shift, comes great responsibility, especially for you, the listener, the awakened starseeds, light workers, during this integration phase.
This responsibility, yeah, it's multifaceted. Emotional, intellectual, profoundly spiritual. First, starseeds are tasked with anchoring calm. There will be intense waves of excitement, fear around this tech. Some will idolize medbeds, maybe unhealthily, placing all hope outside themselves. Others might deeply suspect it. Too alien, against nature. Your role. Hold that middle ground. Calm confidence. You know it's positive, but also not a savior on its own. By staying balanced, grounded, you become a steady rock others can hold on to. This means managing your own emotions. Stay out of panic or frantic excitement. If things feel ungrounded around you, take extra time to meditate, root, connect to inner peace.
And wisdom and discernment are absolutely key too, with so much information and probably disinformation swirling around.
Indeed. Huge amounts of info will fly around, true, false, exaggerated hopes, deliberate disinformation to confuse. Your job is profound discernment. Don't just believe everything. Feel into your heart. Combine intuition with critical thinking, that powerful synergy many starseeds have. When you share about medbeds, speak from genuine knowledge, deep inner knowing. Discernment also means knowing your audience. Share info they can handle, integrate. Your role isn't forcing it down throats, but gently guiding, informing. If someone's idolizing medbeds, gently remind them of their own power. Someone paranoid. Acknowledge their caution, but share positive evidence to ease fear.
And it's also our responsibility to constantly remind others of the true source of healing, right? To prevent that dependency from taking root.
Yes. Starseeds should frequently weave into the narrative. The real medbed is your light body. Metaphorically, literally, depending on context. Keep pointing people back to themselves, their inherent divine capacity. After someone heals, maybe gently encourage, your body knew how to do this. The medbed just gave it a boost to remember. Imagine what else you can do now. This reinforcement actively shifts dependency towards empowerment. It's delicate. Don't dismiss the machine's help, but constantly contextualize it within a larger personal spiritual journey. This brings us to that critical fork in the road for humanity. Two potential timelines for medbed integration. Exactly. Timeline 1, dependency. Medbeds worshipped as savior tech. Here, people are so awestruck they put all faith, all agency in external solutions. Treat medbeds, whoever controls them, like new high priests. Abdicate inner authority. Risk here. The profound lesson of self-empowerment gets delayed. People become passive. I can live, however, medbed will save me. Might even develop a techno-religion, expecting advancement only from gadgets, AI, machines, neglecting the vital inner spiritual evolution. It's basically old 3D thinking in a new high-tech suit, giving power away, expecting salvation from outside.
And the second timeline, which sounds like the higher, more empowered path, is where medbeds are seen as transitional tools for growth.
Timeline 2, empowerment. Medbeds recognized as transitional tools. This is the trajectory we and the Pleiadians strongly advocate. Medbeds welcomed with immense gratitude, but always framed as stepping stones. People use the tech, celebrate the healing, but then consciously turn inward to develop themselves further, asking, if this is possible, what else can I do? What are my inherent capabilities? End quote. Dependency replaced by conscious partnership. Technology and consciousness grow together. Here you see widespread education on consciousness-based health, merging spiritual healing with tech-assisted medicine, eventually gracefully phasing out reliance on machines as people become adept in self-healing. In this timeline, there's little room for new control hierarchies. People don't hand over power. They maintain discernment, ensure equitable access for all.
These timelines probably exist as a spectrum of possibilities.
Yeah.
But that empowerment timeline, that feels like Earth's true destiny. And you, the star seeds, you're the narrative holders. steering humanity towards timeline 2 by framing medbeds as tools for self-healing conscious evolution. Every conversation, every interaction is like planting a flag for that higher path.
That's right. You are, in essence, timeline setters and keepers. We foresee an initial phase where both timelines exist side by side. Some confusion, idolization, sure. But with sustained conscious effort from the awake collective, humanity will progressively coalesce onto the empowered path. And from there, it's a profound quickening towards a full 5D society.
Okay, finally we arrive at the core, the most profound truth here. The ultimate revelation of medbeds isn't just about the cool tech. It's a revelation about the very nature of reality itself and the immense power that has always lived within you. Medbeds seem to unveil that humanity has, in many ways, been living in a kind of limited simulation, right? A consensual belief prison. And that simulation, it's collapsing. That phrase from today's question, proof of a simulation collapsing, it feels pretty apt, doesn't it?
When people witness bodies healing in ways that utterly defy all past medical understanding, all conventional laws, it's like the rules of the old 3D world are proven malleable. Obsolete, even. This experience just cracks consensus reality wide open for millions. And what's the truth stepping through those cracks? It's the profound realization matter is energy. Your body, this world, everything you touch, it's all vibrating energy, light at its core, shaped, governed by consciousness. Medbeds demonstrate this undeniably. Apply the right frequencies, energy matter responds instantly, tumors vanish, bones reform, tissues regenerate. It's like being shown the source code behind the matrix. And if matter is energy, then mind and spirit, which are also energy, they must be the true ultimate drivers of form. That's the watershed realization. The only true healer, the only true creative force has always been the source within. Working through pure energy to shape matter, technology can deliver that energy, concentrated, targeted. But what is that energy if not an extension of source intelligence? Many will realize, almost spiritually, the medbed is playing the pure tones of God's creation music into the body. Source is the ultimate healer. Whether through a human healer, a machine, a spontaneous miracle, it's always source responding to faith, intention, readiness.
That raises a huge question. What will it mean for our collective psyche to know, undeniably, that disease, aging, they were largely artifacts of a lower consciousness state, not inevitable facts of life?
It will trigger nothing less than a massive identity shift for humanity.
Yeah.
We'll collectively move from seeing ourselves as victims of biology, fate, to seeing ourselves as co-creators with nature, capable of profound grace, vitality, true longevity, one conscious. This is the fundamental remembrance of the divinity within each of us. We foresee philosophical, spiritual discussions blooming everywhere. If this healing is possible, then what are we really? How do our thoughts, beliefs play into it? What is life truly meant to be? These are beautiful, expansive questions, signals of collective awakening. Medbeds aren't the end of healing. They're the vibrant beginning of a new era of understanding wholeness, setting the stage for humanity's golden age, the true endgame. Humanity remembering its divinity so fully that life becomes a conscious art of creation. Illness becomes rare not because tech constantly fixes it, but because minds, hearts are largely in balance, creating health naturally from within.
So medbeds are, in the end, like a mirror, a powerful mirror. They heal because matter is an illusion shaped by energy and consciousness. And you are fundamentally a being of consciousness, spirit inhabiting energy light that appears as a matter body. The proof has been provided, the bridge has been laid. Cross over it with the knowing. You are never as small or as helpless as you were led to believe. Wow. We really journeyed through a mind-bending landscape today, haven't we? Exploring something that promises to redefine humanity's future. This deep dive has shown us medbeds are this miraculous transitional tech, designed not just to heal but to unveil suppressed truths, catalyze a huge power shift, serve as a bridge to higher states of being. But maybe most importantly, they're a powerful mirror, reflecting our inherent healing capacity, the true energetic nature of reality. The ultimate healer we've seen is always within you. Medbeds are extraordinary tools accelerating that journey, reminding you of your light body, your power as a fractal source. And we've established personal responsibility, spiritual growth, consistent daily practice remain absolutely paramount.
We've touched on so many incredible possibilities, so here's a thought to leave you with. With the understanding that illness wasn't inevitable, that healing is fundamentally about energy and consciousness, what single belief about your own health or about reality itself will you choose to re-examine, maybe shift, starting today? How will you begin to embody your own inner healer and help steer humanity towards that empowering timeline we discussed? This has been an incredible deep dive, a real testament to the power of knowledge and the unfolding potential within every single one of us.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Until next time, take care and have a wonderful and blessed day.